Good morning. My name is Vikisha Allen. My ID number is 6200377737, and today I want to talk about global human resource management. Now, my major is human resource management, and therefore this is very important to me. Now, one of the things that will affect global human resource management is culture. It is very important that you understand the culture that you're dealing with and what is expected behavior of that culture, so you don't go about offending people in doing simple things like when you're in a meeting commenting on someone's attire, because sometimes even just saying to somebody that they're looking good today in some cultures can be offensive. So human resource managers will have to do a lot of research in order to be globally competitive. Now, another thing we have to look into is time. Not just um, what time of day it is, but when is a good time to schedule a meeting, when is a good time to do a follow-up, when is a good time to check in with someone, because time in one area may be very different in another area. So if you're a Jamaican and you're managing a company, you're the human resource manager in a company in India, you have to get the time zones correct so that you are contacting persons in an appropriate time. You're not calling persons at 2 in the morning, waking them up, or you're not calling them very late at night when they would probably be with their family or have gone to bed. These are things that we do have to consider. Now, how do you manage productivity in a global environment? I think COVID-19 has taught us that productivity is very relative. Many persons, including myself, do work from home. And so what I find is that there are different software that companies use to monitor behavior, to monitor when you're logging in, when you're logging out, and it affords you the opportunity to track person's productivity. Now, productivity is very relative. So someone can be on their computer without actually doing work. And so what I think that we need to do is really move towards task-based productivity. So you give someone task and say, okay, I want this completed in 2 weeks, and you monitor them, to see if they're progressing. Like midway you can check up and see how far are you on this project, give me a report, instead of saying, oh, you have to clock in at 8:30 and you have to clock out at 4:30, where it's not really flexible. And it persons, especially Gen Z, are movers. They want to keep moving, and so sitting down in a spot for 6 to 7 hours is not appealing to them. So HR managers will have to change how they operate. They will have to change what they know from long time and modernize their way of thinking. Now, the use of software does have its drawbacks, as in the human interaction is gone. Most persons do not have human interaction. Like for myself, when the pandemic just started and I stayed in my house for the very first month, I was very depressed because I wasn't talking to a lot of people and I live alone. So we want to make sure that even though we're using software-based environment to conduct our HR activities, that we schedule things like an outing, even though it may be on Zoom or any other platform that you choose to use, that you are indeed using human interaction. You're engaging persons, and employee engagement is very critical in globalization. Thank you for your time and do have a productive life. Bye bye.